And good afternoon. This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com and the Wing Report Publisher 6. Hi, how you doing? Full name Peter Lineweber. Just for I had a couple people asking what my full name was. It's Peter Lineweber. How you doing? Um, Time to talk about Deep Dish Football playoff game of the week, round two, Forreston versus Fulton. It's going to be a great game. It is time now to go first. This will be the first video today for the Forreston Cardinals, and I'm going to do a little bit of a season preview of a season review, full season in review. Just go through a couple few things in that, but it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that special that much. I'm going to talk about the first things that I've seen. Well, one of the first things was Forreston last season. I thought they had a lot of seniors on the team. That was my mistake. They didn't. They actually their players. They had a lot of key players that returned. I was completely miffed by that. Completely surprised by that. I think they had a. Let me check this out for 1 second. They had Cody Stewart who graduated. Cade Cooling who graduated. Michael Singley who graduated. Justin Lampy who graduated, and that's impressive because I thought there were a lot of seniors. I thought Gavin Fuchs was I thought he was a senior too. Again, second thing, I don't acknowledge injuries. I just don't do it. It's these are minors. I don't acknowledge injuries. I do apologize if people get angry with me about that, but I think there's a line that can't be crossed, and talking about a minor's injury or if a player's injured is completely completely wrong. That's my personal belief. I hate to say it. I know I'm going to piss off some people, but that's my personal belief, honestly. Um, Now, Forreston has won the last two championships in the last 1A championships in the last 3 years. Coach, I'm going to get his name up because I forget. Diduch is having another great season. Their only loss came to against another powerhouse, Lena Winslow, and Le-Win looks really, really good. They lost by 14. They beat Dakota, big. Um, Literally the only game that they gave up more than 21 points was to Lena Winslow, and the second what it was to Freeport Anquin, and before that it was Pearl City. So it's looking good, and they beat Salt Fork in the first round playoff game. They beat Amboy, they beat West Carroll, they beat Galena, they beat East Dubuque. Where's the other one? They beat Petonia. So it's looking good for Forreston. The thing will be if they meet up again with Le-Win. But I am not surprised by Forreston. I made the mistake of not checking the full roster. I thought some of them graduated, so they look good. Um, I've talked in the past about Sam Barklow, class act. Um, AJ Christensen, one of the best small school defensive players that I've seen. He's like a heat-seeking missile. Honestly, he's a heat-seeking missile. Great pursuit tackles. Really impressed with the kid. Gavin Fuchs, impressed with that kid. Impressed with their wing quarterback. Really impressed with their wing quarterback. Actually, makes great plays. Again, can Forreston go all the way? Yes. I do see Fulton being a little bit of a challenge for them, especially with that run shoot offense. But it's going to be an interesting game. And Forreston again, year after year after year now has gotten great participation from their student body, and they're able to make great teams. And Forreston is a hell of a program, man. You got to put it as one of those top power programs in a 1A conference, and it's going to be interesting to see. Because the last game I saw against Forreston was Forreston and Ottawa Marquette. I think it was the semifinal game, if I'm not mistaken. Forreston travels well. The travel base travels well. It's going to be a great game against the Fulton Steamers. And I'm going to go into a little bit later this week about both schemes because it's two schemes that are totally different, and that's going to create a bunch of mismatch problems though. But they have the players, They had a great schedule, and I guarantee you, Lena Winslow does not want to see Forreston again. Guarantee you that. And I know, it's you guys are like, what are you talking about? There's always been a bad history of teams meeting up again in the playoffs, and the loser of that regular season game usually ends up winning the playoff game. And I've seen it numerous times, and there have been some times where they've won twice and they kick the other team's ass. But I'm just saying, their Le-Win does not want to see Forreston, and Forreston has a huge, you can say, target with Fulton. It's gonna. I really do think it's gonna be a tough game. I really do. I know a lot of people are expecting Forreston just to totally kill Fulton and running clock. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Fulton's going to give Forreston a hell of a game. I really do. And I really am. I've talked about, I'm going to talk about in the next video, Fulton's offense and their quarterback, because I'm really impressed with their quarterback. Great small school quarterback, and especially with the read option, does a great job. But I digress into the next video and everything else. Forreston is having a remarkable season. I think the key win for me that Forreston had, I I gotta say, I'll probably be wrong. I'll get yelled at by the NUIC guys. Shout out to Kyle and Shane. I'm gonna have to say Freeport Aquin. I'm gonna have to say that, and I'll probably be yelled at, but I understand the key loss, of course, was against Lena Winslow. They had a great shutout win against Dakota, who was actually a pretty good team this year. So NUIC again, 2 teams in 1A. I'm not going to be. I won't. I'm not. I guarantee you, NUIC is probably going to win the state title game this year. I guarantee you, they're going to win the state 1A title. Won't be. I will be definitely surprised if they don't. That's all I'm going to say. But again, Forreston, great team, great kids. I've talked numerous times to college coaches about Sam Barklow, and I've said that he's one of the most classiest young guys that I've ever met out of the class of 2018. Class, character, all the way. Um, this is a team's team. Forreston's a team's team. There's no egos on Forreston. Simple as that. No egos on Forreston. And their main thing right now is to win. That's all it is. They don't care about scholarships. They don't care about anything else. That's the way football should be. And Forreston is that team's team. That's all I'm going to say. And what Coach Diduch has done is unbelievable. And I will mispronounce names. I'm going to tell you that right now. I will mispronounce names. But Coach Diduch does a great job. He's won 2 state titles in the last 3 years, 3 or 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting. Can't wait. But this was sort of the little bit of the season in review. But you can't really say that much. They only had 1 loss, and Forreston football is playing Forreston football this season, so it should be interesting. And I will be there. See you guys there Saturday afternoon.